Good evening, everybody. It's Tyrell Welch. I am the founder of BST Media. I am also the host of Politic with Tyrell Welch, which this is our first episode that we are launching today, where we take a deep dive into major crimes throughout the region and also nationally. But we're gonna keep things limited today. We have been preparing ourselves for different things that we have coming up in the future. So today I definitely want to take a deep dive into this situation that has the city of St. Louis shaking right now. When the St. Louis Police Department responded to the 1500 block of Preservation Place, uh, they found 4 men shot. A man who has been identified, he had died from his injuries. Well, BST Media, we had stopped our news department. So basically a lot of news that we are gathering around, it has became late because, like I said, we closed the news department down. But the person has been identified, and I know a lot of people have seen it from their different news sources and stuff like that. But on behalf of BST Media, we want to be able to send out our condolences to the families who are impacted by that death. One thing I do want to say, when it's fights of different fights and different gangs, and even if someone is innocent, things like that, we do have to understand that time has changed from back from the early 2000s to now. It's 2026. So whenever it's a group of people fighting, 9 times out of 10, there will be some type of gun violence involved in that, because it's so easy to have access to a firearm. And the thing about that is it's really crazy, which is why BST Media, we try to work with different organizations out here, because we're more than just a media company. We are actually, stepping out on the grounds, participating in different organizations, being a volunteer for different organizations. So with that being said, we are truly different from most media news companies and things like that. The crazy killing part about this situation, where a guy had got charged for his father dying in a house fire. They charged him with second-degree murder, first-degree arson, and 2 counts of stealing a firearm in a car. The father was identified as Paul Touche, and I'm assuming that it was blunt force trauma. So I can't really go into more details about that, but I just want people to understand that when it comes down to forensics and different things like that, situations I don't understand, but I do know this, that there's nothing in the world that would make me want to kill my mother or my father, things like that. So we do got to be mindful that we do have to respect our elders and things like that. But that's just one of the things that I wanted to bring out there, because it's like I'm really not understanding this case. Second-degree murder and first-degree arson. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to look more into that, and that'll possibly be on the next episode. But this episode, where I just wanted to do is, I wanted to come on here and just basically do a startup. That way, get more of my news information in and things like that, because I've really been active, been doing a whole lot of different things. And I just want people to understand that this is what we're going to go through a different avenue. I don't want people to look at it like, okay, what make you different from these other people who's doing podcasts and things like that. What make me different is you'll be able to feel it from my heart and my spirit, because one thing about it, I actually care for the community. Um, I do want to say this. I don't know if you guys are in tune with the news, but I want to break something down on a national scale as far as with uh, the president. Now, I understand a lot of people may say, "Oh yeah, I don't vote, I don't care, I don't like him," or things like that. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? You know, the cost of living already too crazy in St. Louis, and as far as with this war going on, gas prices have been going up, and they're steady climbing day by day, weeks by weeks, and uh, I just want people to understand that we have to start voting. We have to start voting, and we have to start with home. We have to start with home. You have a lot of politicians or public officers that are in office, and they are not doing their job. And some people may say, well, you know what, I don't care. I'm not into politics. Well, look, we got to get off into politics, because if they taking everything from us, they're taking everything from us. They're taking anything that they can take. They can take that money. They can take that away, just like they took food stamps away. You know what I'm saying? At the time when the government shut down, things like that. So, I mean, you guys got to understand that we have to sometimes get out of our box to be able to do things the correctly way, and make sure that we can elevate into the next stage. Because, see, one thing about it, and it ain't just the war, it's a lot of racism things that's going on. And then they're using the media tactics to be able to weaponize. So the thing about it is this: if you going to be programmed to them, I'm here to help you get unprogrammed from them. Because here's the thing: really, in reality, a lot of them politicians, all they do is lie. They get paid to lie. That is their job. They get paid to lie. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to try to make anything and everything look good. But one thing I can say about President Trump, right, is he did offer opportunity. Now, I don't know what is this stuff that he's on today, and not even just saying he's trying to destroy the poor people, the black people. He's trying to destroy even his kind. So the thing about it is we got to stand together as a community, and this is for everybody, because I don't want to be biased. I don't want to be the same as someone else. I want to be unique. I want to be different. I don't want to sit here and say, oh, okay, we need to be, on our black owned community wise thing. No, I want us to come together. I don't care what race, no color, what we are. I want us to come together so we can go ahead and make it happen to destroy the government. That is the main key. That is the main pressure. Because one thing about it, once you stop obeying to them, and then they realize that, and then they think that they're going to have the power. How can they have the power when everybody come together? So that's the thing that I'm talking about. We got to come together, and we have to start voting home. We have to start voting home. We have to start realizing and analyzing and understanding, who do we have in our office down here? Who do we have as our alderman or our alderwoman? Who do we have as our mayor? Who do we have as our councilwoman or councilman? Who do we have as our school director? Who do we have as our fire chief? Who do we have as our sheriff? Who do we have as any of these things? We have to start analyzing and realizing that we St. Louis is at war. The whole state, Missouri, is at war right now. I don't understand if you guys understand that and see that. The city of St. Louis right now, what's going on with the city of St. Louis. The Board of Commissioners, what they're trying to do. They're trying to sue the city of St. Louis. They want more money. They're trying to take the city of St. Louis out. City of St. Louis ain't even doing nothing with the funds that they got anyways. But guess what's going to happen? A lot of nonprofit organizations that have already been federal slashed, they're going to be slashed again. Because guess what the city of St. Louis going to think? They're going to think about themselves. They don't care. You get what I'm saying? So if that was to go through, that money that they're requesting, and everybody not understanding and not paying attention to that, and you got all these community leaders and they bringing a lot of people out, but then here's the thing, they are clout chasers, and I will call them out on it, because here's the thing, if you really genuine and you really care for the people, guess what, you will understand that you can fight it in a different way. You can fight it by pen. You can fight it by mind. You don't have to go on here, go do all the unnecessary things that you have people doing behind you. See, if we all come together and we start writing, putting paperwork on them, go straight to man, look, it's so many different ways. And that's for another conversation. But what I'm telling y'all right now is we got to start home, because it's a battle going on right now. It's a war going on in St. Louis. It's a war going on. St. Louis and Missouri. St. Louis want to be its own thing, and that's not, they're tired. Missouri, the state of Missouri is tired. No, it's either that or guess what? You can go ahead and denounce yourself from the state. But how can you do that? Here's what's going to happen. We're going to let you go broke, and now you're going to be St. Louis County. You want to separate yourself, but you don't even, y'all don't know how. So this is what we going to do. We going to make you merge with St. Louis County. We going to make you be one entity. You get what I'm saying? And then whoever listening right now, you are an entity. That's one thing about it. You are an organization. You know what I'm saying? So what people fail to realize is this. We have to come together and we have to battle against these people. Ain't no way that we can sit here and not be these people friends. We can't. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about race. It's not about anything. Guess what it's about? It's about money. It's about power. See, when you don't have money and power, guess what? How you gonna feel? You gonna feel down and out, right? That's the way that they're feeling. They want the power. You gotta allow yourself to be able to be unprogrammed from these people tactics. And they took me a while, but guess what? They can't tell me no anything and think that I'm gonna fall for it. I don't get no food stamp benefits. I don't get none of that. I don't get nothing from the government. I take care of myself. And I'm not saying it in a good way, but, because it be times where I struggle, even doing it by myself. But I don't get Medicaid, I don't get Medicare, I don't get none of that. And I'm not sitting here bragging on it, but the thing about it is, why am I going to pay extra this and that for a health benefit, and you guys getting over, and then you guys want to, come on, y'all can take that away. So what am I doing it for? You telling me all the money that I spent on this and now it's gone? I still got to come out of pocket. So that's just how I look at things, man. We have to realize as a community, we have to realize one thing about it. We have to stand together, because if you don't stand together and you don't stand for something, guess what? You're going to keep going through that cycle. You're going to keep going through that cycle. You're going to keep going through that cycle. And guess what? Hey, one day you will be tired, because that's where I'm at. I'm at my breaking point. I don't listen to nothing that them people say. I listen sometimes because I take what I can take, and then I put it in my own. Because see, one thing about it, I learned one thing. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. So I just want people to understand that, like I said, I'm not going to make this episode that longer, because, like I said, this is the first episode. This is the pilot episode. So what I do want to do is, we are looking for sponsors for this podcast. If you want to be able to be recognized and put your name out there, you can contact me on all my socials. We are heavily on Facebook, Instagram, here and there. But like I said, you can contact us on Facebook and Instagram. You can contact us. You can comment up under this video. We will be able to see everything. So with that being said, and you also can reach out to me on my personal Facebook page, which is Tyrell Welch. So I just want to go ahead and make that clear and bring that on out there. But you guys got to understand that we got to do it for ourselves. And I ain't coming over here to preach, and I ain't coming over here to, downplay anybody or anything. But what I do want to do is I want to put the truth out here. I'm not like these other people. I like it raw and uncut, unfiltered, So that's the main important reason why we launching this podcast. We got more podcasts on the way, so stay tuned. But I do want to say this and then close on out. If you are not following BST Media on Facebook, follow us, BST Media. Follow us on Instagram at STL BST News. And that's that. We are coming up with some programs. We had a summer program that was going to happen this summer, but we're going to wait till next summer. But this summer we possibly create another program, but it won't be similar to the other program that we have. It will be something totally different. And so I just want people to understand that BST Media, we are a media company. We are different. We don't just do media entertainment content. We provide, that's what we do. And we offer advertising services. So with that being said, if you are in need, or if you know anybody that are in need of advertising services, you can reach out to us and we will explain all of our views. We will go over details of our services. So with that being said, I see you guys next week.